Today, the Brooklyn Children's Museum is celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month with a full day of bilingual performances for kids and families, featuring shows, puppetry, and stories.
Located in Crown Heights, the museum is known for celebrating the diversity of Brooklyn, and this program hopes to ignite curiosity and cultivate learning. We love that.
Yes, we do. And joining us now is Edwarda Edwards, acting president and CEO of the Brooklyn Children's Museum, to talk about this. First of all, before we get into the day's events, you grew up going to the museum, so how cool that you get to now share kind of your childhood memories with some of today's kids growing up in New York City.
Indeed, and the other fun part is all the damage I caused as a child, I now know what it costs.
Oh, yeah, right. So those, that little play area that you knocked over,
yeah,
right? You
like,
know
okay,
now.
that's the bill for yes.
You've got the full perspective there, right, as a child and as an adult. But seriously, let's talk about some of these programs. First, let's talk about this bilingual puppet show and how this is going to work and what you want kids to learn from this.
We're excited to be debuting New York Children's Theater's Corre, Abuelita run, which is going to take families and children on a journey across the 5 boroughs as they cheer on Abuelita, who's running her first marathon. So 26.2 miles, she's got this, and we're going to congratulate her all along the way. And then later on in the day, we'll be also doing additional puppet show and then a book reading as well.
So let's talk about that book reading, right? This is with Alyssa Reynoso Morris.
Yes.
And she is Dominican and Puerto Rican, and she is a writer, and her stories, they focus on a lot of themes that children can learn something from, right? Home and food and family. Talk about that.
Yeah, the book she'll be reading from today is Plantanos Our Love, and it's really a great opportunity for families just to learn the experiences of food and culture and how that can bring together families of all sorts. So we're excited to have hers out there too.
Talk to us about the importance of whether it's, in this case, Hispanic culture, but really all cultures, right? And you do so much of that at the Brooklyn Children's Museum throughout the year for the Asian community, for the Black community, certainly. The importance of teaching kids about their culture and why that's important and to be proud of it. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, we celebrate about over half a dozen cultural festivals each year. And through informal experiences, you have a chance for families to both see their identity lifted up, amplified, and joyously celebrated. But additionally, you have families who may not identify with that culture learning from that. So it's really, I would call it informal out of the classroom learning, where you can come in and see Lunar New Year, celebrate Black Heritage Month, celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day in a way where children are learning, doing alongside families who highlight and celebrate that culture. So they're all leaving with a bit of an enrichment.
It's a good point. So even though some of the kids coming today, if they are Hispanic, they might see themselves in a lot of these stories and a lot of what you're offering here, it is equally important for the kids who are not Hispanic to come see these events.
Yeah, that's really part of our fabric and our mission, is the diversity of Brooklyn. We want to use that as a bedrock for the programming we do, as a way that we guide everything that we do, so that when families are coming in, whether they're from Brooklyn, visiting from Montana, all across the U.S., they have a chance to learn a bit more about a culture they might not identify with, but also more importantly, these cultures that we celebrate are seeing themselves replicated and say like, oh, for example, with today, like, oh, I remember making plantanos with my abuela.
Tell me what that is like for you and others at the museum, to see the kids, to see them engaged, to see them ask the questions and sort of light up and have that curiosity that you do want to ignite. What is that like for you?
It's electrifying. It's really, every day we get up, every day we go home, it reminds us that this is the reason we're doing it. We're seeing children come in and have a spark go off and a light bulb go off in a manner that they might get in school, but in a manner that, we think and hope will last a little bit longer. We want to think about the museum as a place that children are leading their experiences, guiding their own learning, but also bringing their caregivers and their families along so that they're also learning as well. Because you might have a prompt where a child said, like, what does that mean? The adult might not know. So we want to provide the language and the experiences so that they can use that as a shared moment to connect.
Well, if you would like to connect and use that shared moment yourself, you can head on over to the Brooklyn Children's Museum. Celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. You have the website there on your screen. General admission, $15, and then $14 for the grandparents. You get a little bit of a discount if you want to bring
let's come on in.
Come on over. Thank you so much. Thanks for the great work that you guys are doing.
Much appreciated. Have a great rest of your day.
You too.